So if there is a single most important issue that you think needs immediate attention, what would you say that it is, and how might your organization or parish or diocese be addressing that now or hope to address it in the future?
My mantra, my mantra really is formation. And we just had our meeting of the Asian Pacific Catholic Network in Reno about 3 weeks ago. And we were talking about there is a need for us to prepare for this demographic shift in not just the people in the pew, but in the leadership of the church in this country, as well as those in the rectory and in the episcopate. So we were talking about how we need to get our people up to speed with the requirement that we are not just there to be leaders of our own communities, but to be leaders of the whole multicultural church. And so for our groups, we were looking at really leadership formation. I know Terry is very conscious of working with young adults. And in the Asian Pacific communities, we are looking at 2012, 2013 as a time for leadership formation on a regional basis so we can reach more people and spend less. So we're thinking of gathering a leadership formation program for the East Coast, for the central region, and then for the West region. And we have begun to really plan this. We're planning it among the pastoral leaders of the different ethnic communities, but also we are inviting diocesan directors in multicultural ministries or pastoral ministry to help us put something like this together. And we're actually looking at the lay ecclesial ministry program as a basis for how we then craft this formation programs for our people. We are doing something special so that we capture the perspective of the Asian Pacific in these formation programs. But we are also encouraging our leaders to now take part in what is going on in their own dioceses, that they be part of the formation institutes of their different dioceses, so they can be catechists, certified catechists, they can be youth ministers, and all these positions open to lay ministry and a step forward.
As for, I was just talking with them in regards to in the parish level, identifying new groups that came in, like in my parish that I working on, there is a new group that is merging, which is Pacific Islander from Chuk, and I think to me, having them feel a sense of what their gifts are, that that they're not what I would like to see them is to build them up and appreciate themselves as that they are gifts to the church, that there are values that we have that can contribute to the church here, that we're not here. We don't want them to come right here and merge right into this culture because they are in this culture, that they as a culture is a gift to the church and a gift to this culture, and that the values that we have is something that they can share, instead of just going in and taking on the values that are here, that they are here. And I try to say, you came here, you're sent here. God meant you to be here because some of the values that you have is getting lost here. And so we need to share these values and keep it alive. And so this is something that to appreciate who they are, that they are a gift, and that they can share with the others, and not to lose themselves into the dominant culture.
I I'd like to look at content and methodology, and I think that content and methodology would have to be modified to fit what the knowledge and behavioral competencies are that we're asking from our people. And also, I think a very important part of this is how do Asians learn? Because Asians are high context people. They're very feeling people, affective people, versus I think some of the methods that are being used are so Western. So I think we should not fit the model to the student, but I think it's got to be a collaborative, reciprocal kind of a relationship so that the teacher is also learning at the same time as the student is learning. So it's not a one-way thing. I think one thing very clear in Asia is the presence of community. You must have community, and we do have a lot of basic Christian communities. In fact, it's a requirement in many dioceses in Asia for basic Christian communities to be created by parishes, because again, these are supersized parishes. We have few priests in some parishes, like there's some parishes where we have 60,000 people, for instance, in the Philippines. So we do not have enough priests, and so it's the lay catechists who take over some of those functions. So there's these catechists who immigrate to this country. What can we do to capture, those competencies, the gifts that they have, that they bring over before they go into something else? Many of those are lost already in a couple of months. So I'm thinking about those people who can enrich the local parish, be welcomed, and I think we need to have welcoming committees in parishes, welcoming commissions. I think many parishes are starting to do that now because they're starting to recognize the influx of other faces. All of a sudden, the pastor says, I have a different community today. But the pastor may not be aware, for instance, that Filipinos have Spanish last names. So he'll tell me, no, I don't have Filipinos in my parish. And I would tell him, Father, I've just attended your Mass and I've met many Filipinos. So I think our pastors also need that kind of formation, not just us.